महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
Existing socialist parties in Europe did not wholly approve of the way the Bolsheviks took power and kept it. However, the possibility of a workers' state fired people's imagination across the world. In many countries, communist parties were formed, like the Communist Party of Great Britain. The Bolsheviks encouraged colonial peoples to follow their experiment. Many non-Russians from outside the USSR participated in the Conference of the Peoples of the East, 1920, and the Bolsheviks founded Comintern, an international union of pro-Bolshevik socialist parties. Some received education in the USSR's Communist University of the Workers of the East. By the time of the outbreak of the Second World War, the USSR had given socialism a global face and world stature. Yet, by the 1950s, it was acknowledged within the country that the style of government in the USSR was not in keeping with the ideals of the Russian Revolution. In the world socialist movement too, it was recognized that all was not well in the Soviet Union. A backward country had become a great power. Its industries and agriculture had developed, and the poor were being fed. But it had denied the essential freedom to its citizens and carried out its developmental projects through repressive policies. By the end of the 20th century, the international reputation of the USSR as a socialist country had declined, though it was recognized that socialist ideals still enjoyed respect among its people. But in each country, the ideas of socialism were rethought in a variety of different ways. Revolution in India. Among those the Russian Revolution inspired were many Indians. Several attended the Communist University. By the mid-1920s, the Communist Party was formed in India. Its members kept in touch with the Soviet Communist Party. Important Indian political and cultural figures took an interest in the Soviet experiment and visited Russia. Among them, Jawaharlal Nehru and Rabindranath Tagore, who wrote about Soviet socialism. In India, writings gave impressions of Soviet Russia. In Hindi, R.S. Avasthi wrote in 1920-21, Russian Revolution, Lenin, His Life and His Thoughts, and later, the Red Revolution. S.T. Vidyalankar wrote The Rebirth of Russia and the Soviet State of Russia. There was much that was written in Bengali, Marathi, Malayalam, Tamil and Telugu. Indian arrives in Soviet Russia in 1920. For the first time in our lives, we are seeing Europeans mixing freely with Asians, On seeing the Russians mingling freely with the rest of the people of the country, we were convinced that we had come to a land of real equality. We saw freedom in its true light. In spite of their poverty imposed by the counter-revolutionaries and the imperialists, the people were more jovial and satisfied than ever before. The revolution had instilled confidence and fearlessness in them. The real brotherhood of mankind would be seen here among these people of 50 different nationalities. No barriers of caste or religion hindered them from mixing freely with one another. Every soul was transformed into an orator. One could see a worker, a peasant, or a soldier haranguing like a professional lecturer. Rabindranath Tagore wrote from Russia in 1930. Moscow appears much less clean than the other European capitals. None of those hurrying along the streets look smart. The whole place belongs to the workers. Here, the masses have not in the least been put in the shade by the gentlemen. Those who lived in the background for ages have come forward in the open today. I thought of the peasants and workers in my own country. It all seemed like the work of the genie in the Arabian Nights. Here, only a decade ago, they were as illiterate, helpless, and hungry as our own masses. Who could be more astonished than an unfortunate Indian like myself to see how they had removed the mountain of ignorance and helplessness in these few years?
We have reached the end of the lesson, children. Enjoy. Thank you for watching.